Now Cornwall might be well known for its tin mining, but it was this valley here, just up the way from Bissoe, which was one of the most important places that they mined copper in Cornwall. Now this mine had a huge amount of buildings and equipment. At the time it was one of the most advanced places in the world for mining.
This is the site of Wheal Fortune mine and was worked under the name of Consolidated Mines. This area started to be worked for copper as early as 1780, but it wasn't until the 1820s that things began to really get moving. A man by the name of John Tayor made the mine into a massive operation. Within 18 years, Tayor had raised an estimated 250,000 tonnes of copper ore, valued back then at around £2 million. The mine at this time had around 3,000 staff and had managed to dig around 63 miles of shafts and levels beneath the surface. This site boasted a lot more buildings and machinery than your typical Cornish mine, with 7 steam engines just for pumping water and 8 WIM engines for bringing ore to the surface. This goes to show just how much money was being made out of the whole operation and the investment that was being put back into the running of the site to be able to raise as much ore as possible. Despite rivaling Dulcoath on production, and by the 1840s having some of the largest copper ore tonnages raised in the world for a mine site, the mine's production began to decrease. With rising running costs, by 1870 the mine had ceased production, and the steam engines and machinery were sold off, with the buildings and dressing floors being abandoned and falling into ruin.
So this is how the site looks now. It's completely abandoned, and it's very popular now with mountain bikers and walkers, but there's still quite a few open shafts here, which we're going to go and look at one now, and we're going to show you some of the workings.
It's worth mentioning here that many of these open shafts on the site are unstable and dangerous. With no solid collar to support the surrounding ground, loose material could drop down the shaft at any moment. I'm teaming up today with explorers Tom and Danny. Tom is rope access qualified, and the three of us together have been exploring mines successfully for quite some time now.
Okay, so we're all rigged up. We're going to go down and take a look.
We take turns one at a time to descend the 50-metre deep mine shaft, taking great care not to dislodge any loose rocks from the collar surround. Falling material from heights such as this probably represents the greatest hazard to going down these mine shafts. The way the shaft tapers in at depth means that any loose stones falling down have a high chance of hitting you, as there is very little room to hide.
Okay, my turn.
Right, so it's literally 2 shafts next to each other.
Yeah.
We follow the Adit past a couple of capped shafts and deeper into the workings.
There's not a tunnel down there, but...
Lovely clear water again, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, cool.
I know Griff's a big lover of a plank of doom. How about a stope of doom, Griff?
That looks like fun, doesn't it?
As you can see, all of this floor is all a false floor, and you can see here under my feet it's timbers. They still seem to be in quite good condition, but you've got to remember that below these is about a 100-metre drop in the stoping, so it is flooded, but we just got to make sure we don't drop anything that we ever want to get back.
Tom decided he didn't want to get too wet, so we left him to watch the ropes, and myself and Danny pushed on further deeper into the mine.
There's some evidence of some copper. Nice bit of copper staining coming right out of the lode above us. Okay, so we've reached a little crossroads in the path, so we could go left straight on, or we can go right, which is good. And above us is Bit of a stope going up some old timbers.
We take an adit which on the plans is marked as leading to Borden's engine shaft. This was a shaft used for pumping, so it may still contain some of the old equipment.
The roof's a bit soft then.
It's a bit narrow then, Griff.
Yeah. And the roof's a bit soft.
So we've just come into another shaft, and we found the balance bob pit. You can just imagine the amount of effort to get these two massive lumps of granite all the way down the shaft like this. They'd have had to lower them all the way down from this one and swing them into position here. And what these are actually for, these are the hinge pieces for the balance bob. So that would have actually sat in this cutout here. And the balance bob would have been a counterweight, which would have helped the pump rods. The pump rods would have been in this shaft. This is a pump shaft, and the balance bob would have helped the counterbalance of that when it was in use. You can just see here as well all the remains of the box itself. So stuff down, and Griff's got a massive spanner. Yeah, probably why they left it behind. See how the bits of tools and stuff have all got like some kind of copper residue built up on them. That's awesome.
We decided to head back to the junction and take the lower adit which leads down to the main drainage tunnel known as the Great County Adit.
Getting very deep now.
And this bit's the county Adit.
We can certainly hear it. Ooh. Oh, that's cold. Okay, so
Feel the air coming through.
yeah. Okay, so this is the actual county adit. All this water pouring out through is draining out of loads of different mines. It's pretty cold.
We retrace our steps back to the direction in which we came in. Along the way we pass other shafts which seem to have been capped and are no longer visible up on the surface.
And Danny just saw this really cool little tally here in the side. I don't know if it's for marking how many men were down here working at the time or not, but it's like a piece of clay with little matchsticks in it. So it'd be interesting to read about what that was. Yeah, it could have been tonnage, how many they sent up that day or something like that. Or it could be, like, as I say, a little safety feature, how many men are down here working, I don't know. To ask some questions on that one. Interesting.
Along the way back we take a look down a small adit which doesn't seem to have been looked in a very long time. It's possible we're the first people in here since the 1870s.
Very, very wet.
It's time to head back up, so we begin the long climb back up to the surface.
Okay, so that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we will get some more videos put together soon. Just to again repeat, don't ever try and do anything we do on these videos unless you are very experienced and have all the right kit to go down mines. They can be pretty dangerous. So yeah, stay out unless you know what you're doing. And we will catch you soon for the next video.